What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I am stoked to be able to bring you some more 6 Days in Fallujah gameplay. And there's only a couple people with access to this game right now, so I'm doing everything I can to show as much as I can and really give you a good understanding of what this game feels like right now. And to that end, today's gameplay focuses mainly on most of a playthrough from the perspective of an M249 saw gunner. And in the second chunk, I showcase some features that I didn't manage to get into my last video. If you enjoy what you're seeing, I would encourage you to subscribe to the channel for more 6 Days in Fallujah and more tactical games and strategy games where we apply realistic military tactics to digital environments and try to learn something in the process while having a great time. Enjoy the gameplay. Stick around briefly afterwards while I answer some of the most frequently asked questions from the first video and provide my thoughts on the state of the game right now. Here we go.
Target building rooftop. Looks like that.
Saw is changing drums.
Closest building. Two
Rooftop
movers.
Sniper down!
Sniper
I got
down.
one
Nice work,
sniper.
dude.
Yeah. Press this building.
With you. It is
Falcon's ready.
way too dark in there.
Minute.
Door right, door in the kitchen.
We pushing through center to primary objective.
Mover.
Door right.
Wow.
It was. All right, they opened up. Watch the primary. Good.
Went out far.
You know what, just for good measure.
Nice shot.
Let's push to target compound, line up on the left wall, and then we'll breach in.
Send it.
Rocket left.
Spartan 3, third squad's about to
C4,
make entry on the complex.
Planet.
Planning charge, guys. Back it up.
Back it up. Oops.
Full.
Fire the hole! Get back! Fire the hole! Murder hole right.
Stairs up, immediate stairs.
Clear.
Audible, door. Holding stairs, push contact.
Need a light up front, please.
First or second floor?
Turn on the right.
It's your door, man. I don't have a light.
I'm reloading.
First floor.
With you, G-Man.
Get a frag in left.
Working frag left.
I'm back online.
Frag out.
Going. Stairs high. Careful.
He's dead.
Eagle light upstairs, second floor.
Got you.
What you got? We got one more door.
Working upstairs, Grover.
In contact.
Crossing.
Watch that left breach. That's where he popped out at, over the top of that sofa.
Got it.
I'm working it right.
He's dead. You killed him.
Can you guys cross that?
Yep.
Pulling the flag. Shot left.
Hey, I'm hit.
Coming to you. You good?
God for Kevlar. Yeah, I'm good. Fuck. Holy shit.
You know where it came from, G-Man?
Flags down.
Oh my god. Oh, left. Huge amount.
Reloading the saw.
Right. The Dix guy sported.
Took a shot, took a shot.
Fall back.
Shit.
Ready.
I'm up.
Yeah, a lot of contact.
Back in the door if you need to take a knee.
Sweeping for blood. I'm hurt. All right, I'm up. Repositioning.
Good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Be advised, I think I heard voice internal.
Yeah,
Oh shit! RPG. I'm banged
Minnow,
up.
Yeah, pull back.
Oh.
Minnow,
I'm hurt
can
bad.
you
Mask
patch
on the
me?
roof, dude. Sounds like they might be inside.
Yeah, second. They are. Reload.
You good?
Yeah, Minnow's got
Here,
stairs
Minnow,
again.
frag out.
Alright. Back out.
Contact 12 o'clock. Right to left, 50 meters. I'm hit.
Eyes.
Sweeping.
He's down.
Third squad, Iron Mountain convoy is arriving.
Take cover.
Bad guys are pulling back.
Roger, Spartan 3, we're resecuring the compound now.
Spartan 3, third squad.
Good fight. 1 second room deep in there.
At the back entrance on the southeast side.
Frag out inside. Eagles internal.
Short room clear.
Contact left. Up and over.
Over the wall, careful.
Climbing.
Complex, Spartan 3.
I'm over.
Frag going over.
Send it. Moving. Working the door.
Spartan 3, we
Open breach. Skylight.
Yep.
Mag.
He's dead.
I'm watching the internal stairway.
Good deal.
I got hit. Oh.
So what'd you guys think? Jump down in the comments. Let me know what you thought about the M249 gunner's perspective or anything you saw in this series of clips that you didn't necessarily notice in the first series of clips. Now what we're going to do is jump straight into some of the most common feedback I got from the first video. There was a lot of people saying that it was too dark, that they couldn't see inside, and that they did not like the way that the light worked. I understand where you're coming from. The first thing I would say is that YouTube compression naturally makes things more difficult to see because it takes what I recorded at 60 frames in 1440p and it compresses it down to a lower quality. So you just may not be seeing the same fidelity that I'm seeing when I'm playing it on my screen. What I would also say is this feels like a very deliberate game design decision. After all, we are playing in Mesopotamia. It is, essentially high noon in this game sequence. And when you're outside and it's very bright and you go inside, there's a natural transition period for your eyes to adjust. And it's also very difficult to see from outside to inside because of the way that the light and the shadows cast. And I think the game does a good job of replicating that. Once you're inside, yeah, it definitely stays dark. The power in Fallujah was cut prior to the initiation of Operation Phantom Fury, the second Battle of Fallujah back in 2004. So that's historically accurate. And then the last thing I'd say is it's a style choice because close quarters battle is inherently chaotic and dangerous. That's certainly true in a law enforcement setting and in a large-scale combat operations setting, in a high-intensity conflict and war that is even more amplified. And I think the game does a good job doing that. You may not love that it's very dark inside, but I think that's what the developers are going for. And by and large, it adds to the fear and the terror and the chaos and the difficulty communicating and understanding your environment. And I think you know, my personal preference is to keep it. I like it. I think it's difficult. I think it's very, very scary. And I think they did a great job with it. The next comment that I got a ton of feedback on is the sound design. I'd say about 80% of the comments say they loved the sound design, and then there's this minority that says they just couldn't stand it. I think it's honestly the game's strongest feature. It's the most immersive sound design that I have encountered in a game, frankly. The way that they do the voice audio, for example, you have excellent proximity voice, and as soon as you move away from your teammates, they're no longer able to hear your voice because you're standing too far away from them, and your voice kind of trails off as you move away from them. And then as you go inside, you add some reverb to the way that the voice audio functions. And then you can also, of course, use the radio, which adds its own radio filter that will change whether you're inside or outside or near or far away from your teammates. If you're transmitting over the radio and also standing next to your teammates, you'll hear that radio filter, and then you'll also get their standard, you know, proximity voice filter. So I think the way that the VoIP is done is very immersive and very good. The gunshots, they sound great to me. I think you can always tweak gunshots and no one's ever going to be completely satisfied with it. But I would say the transitions from like firing outdoors to firing indoors and the reverb that it adds and the echo that it adds is just very convincing. And then importantly, when you're taking rounds, the different sounds when it impacts flesh versus when it impacts a wall near you versus when it travels past you. Those things are all done very well, and it sounds extremely convincing. And of course, when you're suppressed or you're wounded, you get that very much that washed out kind of sound like you're underwater, basically. And I think it's just extraordinarily well done. Some features that I showcased in this video that you may not have noticed in the first video. First was breaching. You're able to conduct a ballistic breach with a shotgun by engaging the locking mechanism or the door with a shotgun, and it'll kind of pop it open, then you can throw it open the rest of the way. You can also just straight up open a door or breach it mechanically by kicking it with your boot, and you do that by just approaching the door, holding down shift, and then pressing F, and you'll perform that animation and kick the door open. One thing I don't necessarily like about those breaches is it places you right in the center of the threshold. There's no way that you can contextually do it from like an offset angle and you kind of rapidly almost teleport into the center of the threshold. I think that's something that's likely to be ironed out over time, and frankly it's not game breaking at all. It's just something that's in there right now in this pre-alpha build before the game's actually launched. There's also explosive breaching, so remember these maps are all procedurally generated, and there's a chance that when it procedurally generates this map it might throw on an external compound gate kind of thing. And in the clip you guys saw that we placed some looked like C2 with a little bit of time fuse and initiating system on it, burned it, and it blew open the gate, and you actually have the physics on the gate where the gate swings open, and we were able to launch through there. So lots of different ways to breach. I think that's a pretty awesome feature that's in there, and I expect to see that refined over time. Also in this video, I died to what I think was a VBID, a vehicle-borne improvised explosive device. Looked like just on the other side of the wall that I was kind of crouching on, a VBID detonated. It killed me immediately. So in the previous video, people were asking about like IEDs, VBIDs, EFPs, booby traps, that sort of thing. I don't know how, widespread they're going to be throughout the game, but we did see evidence of VBIDs for the first time in this playthrough. Other thing I'd call out is the way that the vaulting and the kind of environmental navigation system works. You can climb over most compound walls, but you have to find like a specific spot that's enabled for you to do that. Again, remember this is a procedurally generated map, so the fact that you can vault over anything is kind of a miracle because they had to code that in there to the procedural generation process. But if you see like vines or like a place to step on a wall, you're able to generally climb over it, even if it's an 8-foot wall or something. You have to actually get over it in kit. Feels very slow, very sluggish, and very realistic. Like I would compare it to, jumping over a wall in full kit with a combat load. It's a difficult thing to do, and I think they did a great job animating it. You can also hop over little ledges and barricades and things like that, and overall, like the contextual options for navigating the environment are very good. And again, that's something I think they'll continue to improve upon and give us more opportunities to navigate the environment. Other folks said that the game looks dated. I think that's probably just perspective. If you're coming from like, Battlefield or Call of Duty or some, AAA titles that have legions of developers devoted to 3D modeling, you might be used to certain animations and polish that just aren't going to be achievable in the early, the early versions of a new game that's made by what is essentially an indie studio. I would expect that animations and models get replaced over time, that the polish and the quality of those things improve. But what I would also say is that when you compare this game to its peers, and its peers in my mind are like your Ready or Nots, your Ground Branches, your 0 Hours, the other kind of CQB tactical shooters. This thing's coming out the gate at a level of polish and completion that those other games have not achieved. And I applaud the devs for the state that the game is currently in. And it's also a chance that you think it looks dated because it's a game that took place in 2004. You're not going to have EOTechs and T2s and LA5s and Ingals on M16A4. That's just historically inaccurate. So the equipment should look dated because it's 20 years old plus at this point. Other folks commented on some bugs. Remember, guys, it's a pre-release version of the game. Yeah, you're going to have some ragdoll stuff that isn't done yet. You're going to have bodies occasionally clipping through walls. That's just the state of the game right now, and I have faith that that's going to continue to get polished out in the future. And then finally, some folks commented, or at least asked the question, is the game going to be available on console? I can't confirm that. What I can say is the devs have said they intend to release it on console. I don't know when the game's going to release. I wish I could provide you guys with more detail on that, but I would have hope if I was a console gamer. I think that this one is destined for those platforms, and that's what the developers have said so far. If this narration piece sounded like a defense of the game, I don't intend it to sound that way. I'm really enjoying it. I think that 6 Days in Fallujah is in a pretty badass state right now. It's fun as hell as it is. I'm excited to continue checking it out and playing more and sharing whatever I'm allowed to share with you guys. And I will do all of that eagerly and as soon as I can. But at the same time, if I see issues in the game, I'm not afraid to call them out. That's why, I think there are some issues with breaching. I think there's some polish that can be done with animations. And I think the game's going to continue to improve, and I have faith that it will. So definitely leave your comments down below, whether you agree with me, disagree with me. What do you think of the game right now? Are you still excited about grabbing a copy of this game whenever it releases? Let me know what's on your mind. I'm Controlled Pairs, and this has been 6 Days in Fallujah. I will see you guys in the next one.